Hey, what's up, Action Figure Minute? It is Justin. Been a long time since I've done a longer form video, and it is the new year. It's the first time I've seen you since the new year, so late Happy New Year to you. Hopefully you're going to have a great 2025 filled with all the plastic goodness. And today I've got a special little episode that I'm doing for you. We're going to show you my top picks for the Star Wars The Vintage Collection Facebook group. They're doing their top 25 for 2025. So I thought that's a great topic to cover here. As you can see, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I haven't really dabbled in Black Series. I've stayed true to the master scale, the 4-inch scale. And I am excited about doing this top 25. I think there is new leadership over on the Hasbro Star Wars team, and I hope that they can find a way to really get back to giving the fans what they want. I mean, us collectors, we are now the largest customer group for Hasbro for these action figure lines. So hopefully they can find a way to really, appease the masses and listen to some of our wants and what we're wanting out of the group. And out of our top 25s, I don't know why I just moved that thing off my screen here. But anyway, moving on. So I'm going to show you my top 25, and you can go on and do this vote yourself as well. You're going to want to become a member of the Vintage Collection group. Let me find the appropriate name on here so you can go to exactly where it is, and I'll also do an overlay. It's the Star Wars The Vintage Collection group on Facebook. So you can go ahead and join that group if you're not already in there, if you're a 4-inch Star Wars fan. And once you go on there, there is a website, or I guess you don't even have to be a member of the group to vote. You can just go to the website right now, and I'll do an overlay of the web address so you can see where it's at. It's a Linktree site, so the web address is LINKTR.EE/SWTVC, and I'll do an overlay of that. And you can just simply do your list of top 25 selections, and there's a point value assessed for each of your top 25. Obviously, your number one gets the highest points, and so on and so forth. And they have a template, I'll show an overlay of that as well, that if you want to be a part of the discussion in the Star Wars The Vintage Collection Facebook group, you can do overlays on that image and post it to the group to share, what you're wanting to see and be a part of the chatter and part of the community and the discussion. So without further ado, well, actually, you know what? One more pause. My Irish won last night. What a classic game. They did not, first half, they didn't deserve to win. Second half, wow, a whole different team came out second half. Anyway, moving on now. Gonna go over my top 25. I'll probably do some pauses and overlays in here to show pictures, so some of you might not have any idea who I'm talking about. Some of these characters, a lot of them are from the EU. I'm looking at my list right here on my work phone. I did a lot of oddball characters or characters from, media a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Collect figures, like all the Bad Batch characters that Hasbro hasn't made. Why? They're slam dunks. Hasbro, are you afraid of printing money? Make the rest of the Bad Batch. They don't. So they're not on my top 25 list because they're slam dunks. Hasbro, you should be doing those. People want them. People will buy them. Okay, so I'm going to go into my top 25. You're going to see some themes here. Some of my favorites from my childhood that I still want to see in plastic action figure form. So here we go. Without further ado, number 25. We're going to start at my bottom, go all the way to the top at number 1. You could fast forward through this if you want, but don't, because I'd love to have more long form view time on the channel. So number 25, Yavid. So I'll do a little overlay here. Yavid is the little Sonasian marauder from the Ewok movie, Ewok's Battle for Endor. I'm going to pause. So Yavid's first appearance, at least for me, and maybe he was in a comic book or something like that, was in the Ewoks television made-for-TV movie, The Ewoks Battle for Endor. And I'm looking at my phone right now. Looks like it was released November 24th, 1985. The Ewok movies, you maybe have seen one of my posters on one of my other videos in the past. I absolutely love them. If you've never seen them, like my buddy Matthew Imway, who for whatever reason wants to be stubborn and not watch the movies, they're available, both the Ewok movies are available for you to watch on Disney Plus right now. So go check it out if you haven't seen it yet. Now, quick AI overview of Yavid. Yavid was a male Sonasian and soldier in the Sonasian Marauders, born into Sonasian aristocracy. Yavid was constantly looked down upon due to his short stature. As a result, he became a sadistic and ill-tempered, traits that would serve him well with the uncouth and raucous Marauders. Awesome. Little mean, disgusting guy. We need him in Star Wars. Next up is my number 24, and he follows the theme a bit of number 25, Yavid. Number 24 is Deej Warrick from Ewoks. Deej is the father of Wicket. Deej's first appearance was in the first Ewok movie, Caravan of Courage, which came out November 25th, 1984, so almost a year to the day prior to the Battle for Endor coming out. Deej was also a character in the Ewoks cartoon. More unmade Ewoks. We can see I got some of my Ewoks here behind me, my Ewok collection. I would love to add Deej to the collection. Little bio on Deej. Deej was married to Shodu. They had 4 children, Weechee, Widdle, Wicket, and Winda. So, yeah, Deej. We need Deej. Number 23 is a popular throwback. One, I really don't know much about the character, but fans have been asking him for him a long time. I like the fun designs of different alien creatures in Star Wars, so he's making my list too. Number 23 is Jaxxon. Jaxxon, the little rabbit-looking space guy. Reading the notes right here, his first appearance was in the comic book Star Wars 1977, number 8 came out. Star Wars a long time ago, Volume 1, Doom World. I'm not a comic book guy, but that's what Wikipedia is saying. Little overview for Jaxxon. Jaxxon, nicknamed Jax, was a male leapy smuggler. He was an acquaintance of Han Solo, a fellow smuggler, turned hero of the Rebel Alliance, whom he regarded as an inferior pilot. So bring on Jaxxon finally. I know a lot of people have been waiting and wanting Jaxxon. Bring him on, Hasbro. Let's do this. Number 22 couldn't be anyone other than Noa Briqualon. Who? Well, also another throwback to the Star Wars Ewoks Battle for Endor movie, Noa Briqualon. You might know him as the actor Wilford Brimley, the diabetes guy. Noa Briqualon eats his oatmeal. He was a human male trader and mid-level scout who, after crashing his star cruiser on Endor, spent decades living as a hermit on the surface of the forested moon. The shipwreck occurred around the year 26 BBY, when Briqualon and his friend Salak Wheat set out to chart the Model sector. Bring him on. He is a long time coming. Great Star Wars lore. Star Wars movie, great actor, should be paid tribute to in the Star Wars universe. Make it so, Hasbro. Let's make this happen. Number 21 is none other than Q9-0, also known as Zero or Z, was a modified RA-90 protocol droid who worked as a mercenary during the time of the New Republic. Zero was part of a crew of merchants led by Ranzar Malk, consisting of Migs Mayfield, Berg, Xian, and the Mandalorian bounty hunter Din Djarin, who were sent by Malk to rescue Quinn, a prisoner aboard the New Republic prison ship, both in 5. I really like the design of the droid, a assassin version, killer, bounty hunter, robot. Looks cool, would be awesome in toy plastic form. Make Q90 Hasbro, do it. Number 20, going back to those great classic Ewok movies. This time this character was in both the movies, he was only in the second one for a little bit. None other than Mace Towani. Mace was a human male who was the son of Katerin and Jeremit Towani and brother to his sister Cindel during the time of the Galactic Civil War. In 3 ABY, the Towani family's star cruiser crash-landed on the forest moon of Endor. Soon after, parents Jeremit and Katerin were abducted by that big old nasty Gorax, who, Hasbro, you could go ahead and make the Gorax too, but they left Cindel and Mace alone to fend for themselves. And they later found the Ewok family, the Warricks, Wicket, Deej, Widdle, Weechee, all those, and went to go save their parents from the Gorax. And then Mace later perished in the Battle for Endor movie. Anyway, I want to flesh this movie out. Mace Towani, number 20. And you can't have Mace unless you have number 19, Cindel Towani. Cindel was the younger sister of Mace. Following the Caravan of Courage, she was in later the Battle for Endor, where she was taken captive, and Ewoks were taken captive by the nasty, cruel, vile King Terak, and was later rescued by Noa and Teak and Wicket. And then at the end of the movie, Noa and her fixed their star cruiser and left the planet of Endor. Later on in life, I guess she became a successful journalist, and I don't care about that version. I want the young child version to relive my childhood memories of the great Ewok movies of the past. So, little baby child, Cindel Towani is exciting. Maybe it has to be a 2-pack with Mace. Maybe it could be an exclusive set for multiple Ewok figures. Disney Parks exclusive. I don't know. Vintage collection card back. I don't care. Hasbro, make it so. Number 18 is another Ewok. But this time, it's not from the Ewok movies. This one is from Return of the Jedi. It is Bretthup. Very unique looking Ewok, black and white in the fur pattern. I'll do the overlay here just as I've done all the other ones. I don't think there's really anything notable to say about Bretthup and their background, their story, but just another really cool Ewok to add to the ranks, and I think people will buy them up. So Hasbro, make Ewoks. Let's go! We're at 17 now, and yeah, it's another Ewok. Strap in. I love Ewoks. This time, it's Weechee Warrick. Weechee Warrick. That's Wicket's older brother. Oldest brother. The oldest son of Deej and his wife Shodu. He had 2 brothers, Willie and Wicket, and a sister, Winda. Weechee was the love interest of Charita, a figure I'm not familiar with. Weechee was Wicket's stronger and smarter older brother. I think that if I'm remembering correctly, Weechee was also in the Caravan of Courage movie, the Ewok that went to go distract the Gorax and went under the woven basket and made the Gorax all confused trying to find where he was, and hilarious and fun. And he's smart. He's wicked smart. Hasbro, make this wicked smart Ewok. And you guessed it, if we had Weechee at number 17, then you gotta have Widdle Warrick at number 16. The Ewok Widdle Warrick, nicknamed Willie, was the second oldest son of Deej and his wife Shodu. He had 2 brothers, Weechee and Wicket, and 1 older sister, Winda. Widdle was notable among the Ewoks for being a glutton and accident prone, and you could see that in the movie. He and his older brother Weechee would frequently challenge each other, like you could see at the beginning of Caravan of Courage, when they were fighting along the hillside and Deej had to go find them and rescue them, and then several other times throughout the movie. But if you're making Weechee, make Widdle, make them both, put them in a 2-pack, like you used to do, what was it, back in the Legacy Collection, where you would pack 2 Ewoks together in one card and not charge us $25 to do so because it was a deluxe packaging, or do them single carded. I don't care, just as long as you make both Widdle and Weechee. Thank you. All right, finally, we're going to switch it up a little bit here. Number 15, Asaaj Ventress. Specifically from the Bad Batch, though. I like the look in the Bad Batch. It's different than all the other ones. I'll do an overlay to show that off here. If you're not familiar with Asaaj, you should check her out. Great storyline, great character arc, great design, evil. Love her. Asaaj Ventress, Dathomirian Night Sister, is a complex character who transitioned from slave to Jedi Padawan to Sith assassin to bounty hunter. She first appeared in Tartakovsky's, if I'm pronouncing that right. I love those short cartoons. All the way back in 2003. Asaaj was trained by Jedi Knight Kai Narek. Ventress embraced the dark side after his death, taking up his lightsaber and becoming a skilled combatant. During the Clone Wars, she served as a commander in the Confederacy of Independent Systems and Count Dooku's Sith apprentice, fighting the Separatists. But again, I specifically want the version, she had some hair grown out in the Bad Batch, just a cool new look for Asaaj. I think it would be a big hit with fans. Thanks, Hasbro. Coming at you with number 14, a character who saw sometime, I believe it was in the Bad Batch, Clone Wars, Rebels, one of those shows, but I really like the look of this nasty looking dude. His name is Rukh. Check him out, Rukh. Rukh is a male Noghri and the bodyguard of Grand Admiral Thrawn, appearing in the 4th season of Star Wars Rebels. There we go. A formidable warrior, he is also Thrawn's personal assassin and was dispatched to Lothal to hunt the rebels known as the Spectres. Now, in the Vintage Collection group, I saw some people saying they specifically wanted a look of Rukh when he was this big, beefy, bulky Noghri warrior, and unfortunately, I'm gonna disagree with you on that. I like the lanky, really evil, nasty-looking version of Rukh that was in the Rebels cartoon. It would honestly probably resonate more with collectors and fans. I think it would probably be the easier slam dunk for Hasbro. Rukh, nasty looking little dude. Make him. Number 13 was every kid's dream to have way back in the day when we were watching Star Wars, and it finally came true in the Acolyte television series. Number 13 is none other than Master Kelnacca, a Jedi Wookiee with a lightsaber. Easy seller. People would buy that up. Now, the one thing that I would request is that Hasbro put in a bit of work into their Wookiee head sculpts with Master Kelnacca. I haven't been that great of a fan with some of the latest Wookiee head sculpts, so really wow me here, Hasbro. Do a great job. I mean, this could be a one and done figure. Make it a slam dunk. Do a great job on it. A Wookiee Jedi Master, Kelnacca has sequestered himself in the tangled jungles of Kofar. He is a loner who lives a solitary life, and spoiler alert, later died. Make Master Kelnacca. Do it to honor him. Number 12 is one of those slam dunk figures that Hasbro should have made, and they haven't yet, so he made my list. And that is another version of Migs Mayfield, or Mayfeld, in his first appearance look, I guess we can say, in his prisoner outfit, where he had all those guns coming off of him in every which way. I think they made a Black Series version of him. Hasbro, he is a awesome action figure to have in the collection with all those guns coming off of his backpack and robot and whatever it might be. Migs Mayfield, he was a human mercenary who was a former sharpshooter in the Imperial Army. During the time of the New Republic, Mayfield was recruited by the criminal Ranzar Malk to lead a team to rescue prisoner Quinn on the Both R5, and we already heard a bit of that story. And he also had a great character arc later in the Mandalorian series. Hasbro make Migs Mayfield. He would sell great. People would love that action figure esque of him with all of his guns. And after you make Migs, let's make someone else from the team. We already have Q90 on my list as well. We can keep going deeper. I'll allow it. That whole team was nasty and cool and mean looking and deserve action figures. But right now, Migs Mayfield. Thanks. For number 11, I love the bad guys. I peppered in some good guys here and there. I've got my cutesy Ewoks on the list, but number 11 is Marrok. Marrok, they made him in the Black Series. He should have a vintage collection figure. Marrok, known at one time as the First Brother, was a mysterious Force-sensitive humanoid warrior who once served in the Inquisitorius of the Galactic Empire. He appeared in the Ahsoka show. Maybe there's been a lot more discovered about him and who he is and backstory and comics and books I haven't read, but to me, he's a badass-looking Sith, mysterious warrior figure who is toyetic as AF, and we should get a Marrok action figure in the vintage collection line. Make it so. I know what you've been thinking. It's been a long time since I talked about the Ewok movies. So for number 10, we're going with Charal, I can't remember how you pronounce her name, the Night Sister witch that was in the Battle of Endor movie. Charal was a Force-wielding Night Sister who turned her back on the sisterhood and left the homeworld of Dathomir. She was the first Night Sister that we ever saw in Star Wars. Great character, great figure from the movies, great look, design, everything to her costume. Before getting off the planet for good of Dathomir, she stole the Talisman of the Raven, a prized artifact that allowed her to metamorphose into a bird known as a raven. The other witches called Charal a traitor and sought to feed her to their rancors, a species of ferocious predators. Charal spent decades trying to escape her pursuers and ultimately joined a band of Sanasian marauders who were themselves being hunted down by law enforcement agencies. Their vessel crashed on the uncharted forest moon of Endor, where the Sanasian warlord known as Terak set himself up as king, appointing Charal his second in command. Great, throwback to Star Wars history, Star Wars movies. First Night Sister would be a cool toy to have to flesh out that whole movie verse. So Charal coming in hot at number 10. For number 9, I had to go to one of those slam dunk figures that, yes, Hasbro has made a version of this figure before, but have not given him the justice that he deserves for being the excellent character that they created for the movie Rogue One. And he deserves treatment here in the vintage collection. He deserves another figure. Number 9 is none other than Baze Malbus. It's a slam dunk figure. Hasbro, why haven't you made him? You made Chirrut, his buddy Chirrut Imwe. Make Baze to go along with him and do him the justice he deserves. The harsh reality of his Imperial-occupied homeworld has hardened Baze Malbus into a pragmatic soldier and a crack shot with his heavy repeater cannon. Baze has a bravado that provides a marked contrast to the spiritual centeredness of his best friend and moral compass, Chirrut. So, Hasbro, this should have been done a long time ago. Rogue One, one of the best Star Wars movies to ever be made, especially of the Disney era. Make Baze. It's ridiculous that you haven't done so. Do it. Do it. Number 8, going back to the I Love Bad Guys theme. Number 8, Qimir, however you pronounce his name again. I'm not the best at pronouncing all these names. But also known as the Stranger. I can say that one. Is a character in Star Wars who trained as a Jedi before falling to the dark side and becoming a Sith Lord. He wears a mask with a permanent grin and wields a red-bladed lightsaber. Qimir was trained by Jedi Master Vernestra Rwoh, but became disillusioned with the Jedi's ideology of the Force and left the Order. He claims to have lost everything and been betrayed by someone he trusted, resulting in a permanent scar. Some people didn't like the Acolyte. I was fine with it. I enjoyed it. More Star Wars is good Star Wars. He was a great character. I would love to see him made, and he would make a perfect action figure, Hasbro. Easy slam dunk for you. It should already be on your radar, but perhaps due to the results of how the Acolyte panned out with fans, maybe you're holding back on wanting to do more figures. But he should be a definite one to make the lineup. Please make Qimir. Thank you, Hasbro. Appreciate it. For number 7, I'm going to go with a good guy, a Jedi. But it's not just any ordinary Jedi in robes, humanoid-looking Jedi. We're going 4-arm, baby. We're going Pong Krell. And I'll do an overlay. Pong Krell, badass looking dude. Pong Krell was a 2.36 meter tall Basilisk Jedi Master and General in the Grand Army of the Republic during the Clone Wars. He was known for his ferocious fighting style, wielding 2 double-bladed lightsabers with his 4 arms. As a general, he was strict and intolerant of insubordination, and his clone troopers suffered high casualty rates. But awesome-looking toy. Easy seller. Kids would gobble it up. Hasbro would probably, he's got 4 arms. We got to make him a deluxe MSRP figure. I'd still buy him. I'd maybe play the long game because I don't like to pay their $25 MSRPs. But Pong Krell should definitely come out in the Vintage Collection line. Easy toy. Awesome looking. Great design. Do it, Hasbro. I keep saying do it, but do it. For number 6, switching it up again, but this time we're going back to an evil Sith character, but we're doing a female Sith character. The 4th sister, formerly known as Lyn Rakish, was a Force-sensitive Nagratu female member of the Inquisitorius during the Imperial era. Once a Jedi herself, the 4th sister recruited fallen Jedi Barriss Offee into the Inquisitorius, although Offee eventually abandoned the group while on a mission with the 4th sister to find a rogue Jedi. I really loved the story arc that they did between her and Barriss. She's a cool design. I think would make a really nice evil female character to go on my Star Wars shelf. Absolutely just think she's a cool design, cool figure, had a nice story arc with Barriss, and I'd love to pick her up. Thanks, Hasbro. Let's do this. For number 5, I don't know if there's a background story to this guy. He's a background Jabagoon. I think everybody wants him. I think I look for a name. I think everybody just calls him the Window Weequay. So he's the Window Weequay. Luke jumps on the Khetana, pulls him out, throws him out the window, and that's the thing. But he's a cool looking pirate, like Swiss Family Robinson style garb. I want to throw him on my ship, and with all my other Jabagoons. I love the Jabagoons. I think they're right over there. Let's get more Weequay in the line. They're cool, toy-etic, awesome designs, and pirates. Who doesn't love pirates? Whew, it's getting hot in here. We're at the final 4, and number 4 is none other than that scary, evil-looking, disgusting character thrown back, all the way back. Yeah, we're going back to the Battle for Endor, King Terak himself. Terak was a Sanasian warlord from the storm-shrouded world of Sanasia 4. Huge and fierce-looking, even by Sanasian standards, he was the chief of the Marauders, a band of criminals who engaged in Spaceways piracy. Piracy! A century before the Battle of Endor, Terak and his Marauders joined with Charal, a forceful female who possessed a magic ring. Traveling through the Model sector in a stolen starship, they crashed on the lush forest moon of Endor. Resigned to their fate, the Marauders constructed a castle in the plains of Endor where they were ruled by the self-appointed King Terak and Charal, his accomplice. In the months leading to his destruction, though, Terak murdered most of the Towani family. Murder. He deserves an action figure. Number 4, King Terak. Number 3, another background Jabba goon that you see, blink and you miss him, Yotts Oren. He was a Kadasa Nikko guard who often worked on board Jabba's sail barge, Khetana. During the Battle of the Great Pit of Carkoon, he rode on the second Bantha II cargo skiff. He's a cool design. I always love the Nikko design, the practical effects, practical, you know, we're not doing 3D designs, we're not doing Phantom Menace garbage, practical effects, and I absolutely love practical effects. Love it all. Make Yotts Oren. Let's complete Jabba's goon gang. Top 2, baby. Here we go. Number 2, Fozec. Yeah, Fozec. Fozec, another one of Jabba's goons. He deserves to be a character. I feel like out of all the Jabba goons, Fozec got the most screen time. I joke with my buddy Matt. I say, the actor that played Fozec must have had some dirt on George or was intimidating George Lucas, because he probably said, hey George, I'm going to go ahead and stand over here. And every shot, he kept kind of like working his way into the shot. Hey George, I'm going to stand over here. And that way he made his way on camera. And he's just cool. I want to have Fozec to go along with all my other goons. Fozec was a human male who worked as a guard at the palace of the crime lord Jabba on the planet Tatooine. In 4 ABY, he watched a performance of the song Jedi Rocks by the Max Rebo Band and laughed when it ended with the enslaved dancer Ula being eaten by Jabba's pet Rancor. Make Fozec. He worked his way into all those pictures. He got his screen time. He deserves the Vintage Collection action figure, Hasbro. Deserves. Do it. This is it. If you made it this far, we're at number 1. And number 1 is none other than the best Ewok of them all, Chukha Trok. Chukha Trok was a male Ewok woodcutter and member of the tribe that inhabited Bright Tree Village. Known as an exceptionally strong and tall Ewok, he was counted on by the tribe to defend the village from enemies such as the Duloks and attend to the forest surrounding their home. Chukha Trok, as you know, stood toe-to-toe with the Goraks and ultimately gave up his life to save the Towani family. He deserves an action figure, Hasbro. He gave his life for others. He's like the strongest, best Ewok of them all. Why has he not been made? Slam dunk! Chukha Trok. He was in the Caravan of Courage movie, and then also he was in the Ewok cartoon movie. He's had his screen time. He's earned it. Make Chukha Trok. That's my number 1. And hey, I'm sticking to it. 2025, year of the Chukha Trok. Let's go. We're going to end this video with one shameless plug. As always, remember, in all my videos that I post little links to descriptions for the product. They are affiliated links. If you buy something when you go to those affiliated links, I do get a kickback. It helps the channel. You can find many of the newer Star Wars figures on websites like Entertainment Earth. Entertainment Earth, I've partnered up with them. Thank you to those that have shopped on there and utilized my code AFM. Gets you 10% off all in-stock items, and they're always running low shipping rates. Spend $39 or whatever it might be, get free shipping. They change that number from time to time, but it's pretty easy to hit those free shipping marks and earn yourself 10% off all in-stock items by using code AFM. That's it. That's been my top 25 wants for Star Wars The Vintage Collection action figures. in the year 2025. Hopefully we can cross a couple of those off the list, off my list, off your list. More Star Wars is good Star Wars, especially if we're getting brand new characters that have never been made before, not constant re-releases. I understand Hasbro, you have to do those, get the most out of your molds and, you know, little tweaks, Malibu Stacy with a new hat, things like that. But give us longtime collectors some of these new figures off all of our lists. Hopefully you're watching, Hasbro. Hopefully you're paying attention to the Vintage Collection Facebook group. And let's make some of these long-term Star Wars fans' dreams come true by giving them who they want, Chukha Trok, Fozec, in plastic form. Thank you very much. This has been your action figure, who knows how long. I appreciate those of you that watched all the way through, and we'll continue making really cool little action figure minute or less videos for you to take poops on. Not on the videos, but poop breaks at work. And you know, while you're hiding in the bathroom stall, watch a minute or less video of cool plastic action figures. Peace.